Hello, I'm Mark Moore from Free Thinking Therapies. I'm a hypnotherapist from Leicestershire. I'm a qualified teacher of mindfulness meditation, and I use a lot of NLP, that's neuro-linguistic programming, in my therapy and counselling. And I also like to give talks to local groups, charities, organisations and businesses around mental health, and really just try to spark conversations and thoughts about how we can maintain and improve good mental health. Now, over on social media, a lot of people are talking at the moment about overindulging, particularly through lockdown with the coronavirus epidemic. People are feeling bored, frustrated, and often just turning to the refrigerator or the cupboard for some solace and some companionship and some comfort. So I just want to spend a few minutes talking about what's happening, why we do that kind of thing, and also maybe just give you a few tips on how to avoid it, not just through lockdown, but beyond into our normal lives when things get back to some sense of normality. As a hypnotherapist, dieting, weight loss or weight management is one of the most common things that people come to me for help with. And very often these people have tried various and sometimes numerous diets, and in a lot of these cases, the specific diets they followed have been working. That is to say that while they've followed the diet plan, they've lost weight. But yes, the problem is that as soon as they stop the diet plan, they put some or all of that weight back. Now, probably two biggest names in the diet industry are something like Weight Watchers and Slimming World. And these are diet plans that, as a hypnotherapist, I'm happy to work with, because often why my clients follow their plans, and they are good, healthy, nutritious plans, we will then just look at their relationship with food. So as they come off the diet plan, we can understand why they eat, what they eat, and the effect it has on them emotionally and psychologically. Now, I try not to because I don't like to tend to patronise people by pointing out that eating too much of certain foods, drinking too much alcohol is detrimental not only to your waistline, but potentially to your health as well. And in fact, I'm often amazed as to how well informed the clients who are concerned about their weight. They're very, very well informed indeed. They read lots of magazines, articles, they watch the documentaries, all these dramas about someone's £600 lifestyle trapped in a bed. And they can quote sins and points for a whole range of food items and products. But despite all that knowledge, they still eat. With all that knowledge, they still eat too much. And often they feel that the odds are stacked against them. The manufacturers don't help, suppliers don't help. So even the product sells itself, however basic it is, they will still go to lengths to sell, to force us to buy that product or more of it. So consumer psychology delves into why we buy, what we buy, our shopping habits as a whole. And larger companies are now employing neuroscientists to do neuromarketing, which I know it sounds like they're trying to sell us a brain, but actually looking at how our brain works, what stimulates us, what happens as a process as we consider buying and actually make purchases. So branding departments will look at packaging, what it says on the labels, etc. So even colour becomes relevant to the product. Coca-Cola probably speaks everything, that red label. But if something's packaged in green, it would suggest that it's foliage, it's natural, it's restful, healthy and restorative. It may be telling us that it's environmentally aware. Darker sort of emerald green speaks of wealth. Products packaged red or red themselves suggest a fiery response, something that's exciting, passionate, urgent and dynamic. Blue suggests a sense of being cool, dependable, whereas dark blue suggests authority, the sort of authority we associate with uniforms. And often where products are placed on the shelf, there's a lot of time and attention, psychology goes into where the supermarket or shop places a product on the shelf. Generally, the products they want us to buy are at eye level, and assuming the majority of us are right-handed, they're designed and placed for us to reach out with one hand to pick that item off the shelf. And we respond differently if we learn the price before or after we see the product, because what we know shifts our thinking. If we see the price first, we start to ask, is it worth it? If we look at the product first, it's a simple question, do we like it? And these are two different sides of the brain processing those two bits of information. And branding, after all, is important. Bear in mind, 70% of us make a purchase based on brand alone. So it seems that when we walk into a supermarket, when we're trying to be good and behave ourselves in terms of what we buy and the quantity we buy, it seems that the odds and the shelves are stacked against you. Something that's always worth considering when we buy products, and I suppose a good example was if I was to offer you £10 now and say, pop down to the shops and treat yourself, buy something nice, what would that treat be? Cake, biscuits, chocolates, crisp, maybe alcohol, bottle of wine. So what makes that food a treat? What makes us see that food as a treat? Where or when did we learn that that's a treat, or when did we learn that what constitutes a treat? So just think back, further back to probably your childhood, I would imagine. That's when we were rewarded with these treats. Remember, you've been told, be good and you'll get a chocolate bag of sweets. Do well at school and we'll take you out for dinner or take you for a takeaway or buy you more chocolate. Eat all your dinner and you'll get dessert. And in fact, we're even punished with food. If you don't behave, we'll withdraw or remove the chocolate, the sweets, etc. So our whole reward and punishment system had food and sweets and alcohol, maybe as an older adult, involved with it. So I think you get the picture. We associate certain foods as treats. So now, programmed with this as adults, we reward ourselves with chocolate because that's what we've been taught. So when upset and sad, how many children are told, here you are, have some chocolate or fizzy drink or some sweets to cheer them up? Often we're just trying to buy ourselves 5 minutes peace, or we're just told it will make them feel better. So when we acknowledge the growing numbers of eating disorders and the growing number of people suffering from them, we can see how our relationship with food can easily become uncomfortable and even dangerous. And it's something that's rooted in our mind, not our stomachs. So how do we avoid the marketing, the brand hype and the layout that's designed for one purpose, to make us buy more than we plan to buy, more than we want to buy, often more than is good for us? Now, using hypnotherapy, I would build new behaviours into the client's subconscious over a number of weeks. What I can do now is maybe just give you some of those seeds to plant to get you to think about what you're doing and what you're experiencing, and I'll just become a slightly wiser shopper right from the outset. So I think whether you're trying to lose weight or, as we're talking about in this video, just trying to avoid binging, putting weight on and getting out of shape, be clear about what it is, what your goals are. If it's about maintaining the weight you're at, then write it down somewhere. If you were 12 stone at the beginning of lockdown, remember you were 12 stone at the beginning of lockdown, and that's your target if that's it, to maintain that weight and size. If you're trying to lose weight, just make sure your target's realistic. Trying to lose a stone in 4 weeks, as an ethical therapist, I wouldn't help anybody do that. So make sure the timescales, the amount you want to lose, is realistic and achievable. Chances are if you drop a lot of weight very quickly, you're just going to bounce back up right to rate where you are. So, things that we can do differently. I think what I will say to someone when I'm doing hypnotherapy is thinking in terms of healthy eating. Just take a virtual trip in your mind around your supermarket. Chances are you use a regular supermarket each week or each 2 weeks, and just see yourself going around the store and just focusing now though on the items that you want to buy to maintain good health, to eat well, or lose weight if it's actually gone. It's also very important before we do physically go to a supermarket to make a list. And if you know your way around the store, you know roughly where everything is. Chances are you follow the same route each week as most of us do. So make your list in the order of walking through the store. Just avoid that risk of wandering around aimlessly, just allowing yourself to be seduced by the marketing all that brand hype that we want to avoid. Be aware of self-sabotaging your own goals. Remember, you will have bad days, you will reach for the chocolate bar, you will have a couple of glasses of wine, and that's fine. Some days will be better than others. Remember, and I've used this analogy before, when you drop your phone, you immediately pick it up, you check it's okay, it's still working, and you probably think to yourself, I need to be more careful next time, I need to protect this. When you drop your phone, you don't stamp on it repeatedly just to make sure it's broke. So don't stamp all over your plans and dreams just because you have a bad day. If you do fall off the wagon, so to speak, just climb back on and get on with it. Ask yourself why am I eating something? If you've got a bar of chocolate, bag of crisp in your hand, ask yourself, is this because I feel fed up? Am I feeling sad? Am I feeling angry, upset about something? And just stop and ask yourself, who's eating that? Is this the 5, 7, 10-year-old you that's just been pacified by mum and dad again? Because that's what they told you would make you feel better? Or being bribed just to do something, just motivate yourself with a bar of chocolate? And ask yourself, will you feel better? And the answer you know is no, you won't feel better for eating a bar of chocolate. You'll just feel worse. I'll contradict myself slightly now by saying, but treat yourself. Okay, this isn't torture. This is about trying to lose weight or trying to manage your weight and stop binging. So simply ignoring what you like, if that's a piece of chocolate occasionally, then fine. Have a piece of chocolate. It's the difference between having a piece and not eating the whole bar of chocolate. Do some research. Don't just feed your stomach, feed your knowledge. Understand what you're eating. There's lots of magazines, there's lots of stuff online. It's not about being obsessed. And that is a danger sometimes with dieting. We just come focus so much on food. That is all we're thinking about. But as I say, most people have good basic common sense, common knowledge. So eat what's right. And if you're not sure, read up, do some research. And I think enjoy your food is key. Even though we're trying to manage our weight, we don't want to binge, etc. I think one of the real problems that we struggle with these days is that we eat. We don't really taste our food, we don't really enjoy it anymore because we're normally sat in front of the TV or we're eating on the go or we're sat at a desk at work. And while eating, some people view as necessary, it's an important fact. It's a life-giving function that we have to do to keep us healthy. It fuels our lives, gives us the energy to pursue our goals and our dreams. Give it the attention it deserves. And I think finally, be aware of other people sabotaging your goals. Okay, so be aware of the enemy within your own house. That might be your partner, it might be your kids, family or friends. Because I've got used to clients discovering that their partner doesn't want to be the only weight person in the house. I've got used to them realising that their partner's worried about them suddenly becoming attractive, fanciable by other people, and their mind leads them on to, then they'll leave me and I'll be on my own, etc. You'll be amazed what people's minds can do. I'm not, because I hear it all the time. So hopefully just a few little tips just to keep you on the straight and narrow, make you more focused and aware of what's going through your mind and those thought processes about what we purchase, what we eat, what we put inside ourselves. So I hope you found the video useful, not just for lockdown, but beyond into our new normal routines. So if you like the video, please give it a like, and I'll be posting further videos on YouTube looking at this and other topics that pop up within the community that people ask for help or more information on. You can pop over to my website and find details of the services I offer. I do some online therapies, and if you've got issues around weight management, weight control, post-lockdown, come and see me and we can arrange some hypnotherapy and help you achieve the goals that you want. So let's all focus on making our tomorrows a little bit better than our yesterdays. Keep safe, keep well. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.